there, YouTubies. Little warning here. If you are squeamish to the realistic visualizations of the human body, you might want to skip this one because, well, there's a lot of that. So, you have been warned. Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to another Momo Joe Let's Play. So, this time we're not exactly playing a game. No, actually, we are playing kind of like an educational, you know, kind of an educational tool, basically, that is actually accessible on your Android or iPhone. It is called the EX series, and it is broken up into like 3 different categories. It's Airway Ex, and Gastro Ex, and then like Pulmonary Ex, which I played a little bit of it. I mean, like I said, I gave a warning because, you know, some of the imagery is a little realistic. But, I mean, this is basically like a virtual learning tool for, I guess, aspiring, you know, enterologists. I mean, gastroenterologist, pulmonary, I assume that's how they call it, or maybe it's a pulmonariologist or something like that. But, you know, yeah, I mean, this is pretty interesting. So let's get going. So as you can tell, I've done the tutorial, but we're gonna go ahead and do it again. You know, just so you can kind of get the experience, because so far this is the only thing I've done. So this tutorial introduces the touchscreen controls of our Airway Ex app. First, you'll learn the basics of controlling the virtual fibroscope, which is designed to replicate the specifications of a scope you'd use in an operating suite. Then you'll practice maneuvering the fibroscope to identify laryngeal landmarks such as the epiglottis and the vocal cords. Thank you. Finally, you'll perform a virtual intubation of a patient. I got a little ahead of myself. I was going to say thank you. Thank you very much for the applause for me being able to say laryngeal landmarks like epiglottis and such. So we are using the Sia Bozini Model 9. No, it's kind of neat though. I mean, to see the, you know, to get to see the device itself. I mean, a lot of people that go in for endoscopies, you know, they're usually under by the time that the scope is brought out. So, all right, so we're gonna look up. We're gonna look up here. Okay, there we go. And then looking down. Okay, we're gonna look down, and right at the tippy top of his nose. It's gonna. Oh, okay. So it says turn left, but we're technically rotating left. So I'm gonna rotate right. Right, doing it. All right, good deal. Well, don't get ready for start the scoping. Okay. So we are going down, and we're gonna hit those teeth, dude. We're gonna break those crowns. Holy cow! Oh my gosh, man, I almost thought we were gonna get sued for malpractice already. So wow. So we are down the throat here. There's the uvula. That little look up at the epiglottis. Okay. So epiglottis, is it? It's like a fancy term for the vocal cords, maybe? Look left. Okay, there we go. We are looking left. And now we are going to look right. This is... I mean, the coordination is a little off, but, I mean, like I said, I assume that they are mimicking the actual controls of this. But, yeah, those are definitely vocal cords. So advance the skip through the... So maybe the epiglottis is made up of, you know, the muscles and the tissue and everything, and the vocal cords, perhaps? No, I don't really know. Maybe you should look that up. So we're gonna roll down to the carina. Perfect. Now with the carina in view, advance the tube over the scope intubate. Okay. So we're moving this, sliding this along. Oh wow. Oh cool. So I mean, I don't know. Is this like standard practice now? You know, is that how you intubate the patient? You know, because you intubate the patient so that way you can clear the airway of their throat. So you know, normally I would assume it's so they can breathe better. You can be able like a breathing device down there so they can, you know, get oxygen. You know, but you know, I mean that's kind of cool. So intubation with flexible scope, Blake Field scope, single use flexible intubation scope, single use. So, wait, they just use this scope once and throw it away? Or, I mean, I would hope maybe it's just like parts of the unit are just like disposable, perhaps. Bar decreases in time, aggravate scope, may cause damage, and an additional bar drop. Okay, well, this is interesting. I hope you were reading along. I apologize. So as you move towards the larynx and through the vocal cords, watch your speed and position to avoid saliva buildup, irritation, and tissue damage. Okay, well, good to know. So we are going to look around here so we can kind of get the feel for it. I wonder, can I? Oh, I think we did. We can see the room. Cool. Wow. I mean, wow. Okay, detail here, guys. Really, they actually took the time to be able to actually put a 3D environment around the patient. That's pretty cool. I gotta give them props. Can we go in the nose too? No. Apparently we cannot go in the nose. Okay. So, well, we are going to go down this guy's throat, hopefully booger free. So down. Watch out for the teeth. Again, don't want to break any crowns. And end up with the end up having to get, getting sued for a dental bill. All right, so there is the epiglottis. I have to admit though, the detail in this is really, really cool and also kind of frightening. But I mean, overall cool. I mean, it is a learning experience. And what is on my camera already? Did he breathe on my camera? Or maybe that's saliva. It doesn't necessarily look like saliva. It looks more like breath, like he went. So we are now. There is the carina. So okay, we are going to swipe down that intubation tube and intubate this patient. Okay, all right. So I guess Airway Ex mainly is just. I guess this is mostly just scoping for, just mainly for the trachea or the throat, and I guess intubation. I don't know. I would have to get much further to figure that out. Blind intubation, hidden successful intubation with scope covered in secretions. All right. Yeah, I'm feeling kind of like a pro now. Okay, so practice case, nasal intubation. Well, so far we are doing nothing but intubations, it would appear. Now you're ready to practice your skills on a virtual patient, a 20-year-old male who has had 10 episodes of tonsillitis the past 3 years and has elected to undergo a tonsillectomy. You will perform a nasal intubation to provide an enlarged surgical field. The nasal mucosa has been prepared with a topical anesthetic and a vasoconstrictor, and the endotracheal tube has been lubricated. Okay. So this definitely looks way different than the other ones. Why are these scopes so different? I mean, I guess maybe it's like to give you an idea of what all the scopes are kind of looking like. But this time we are going down the nose, and dude, you need to trim those hedges. You really need to trim those hedges. We got to get through the forest here and down the canyon. Wow, this is honestly kind of interesting to see the interior of the nose. I wonder what that hole was that we passed by. Oh, of course, you are gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna end up getting smudged up a camera here. Ugh. Wow, so it's this tissue is so smooth right there, and then becomes so rough right here when you get into the throat. And it is kind of fascinating because I mean, apparently going in through the nose and down into it, your nose canal really actually just goes directly into your throat. It's like at the back of your throat, of where your mouth, very back of your mouth, basically. Explains why I'm constantly going whenever I'm having my usual allergy episodes. Okay, so we have managed to get down this carina again, and the intubation tube is down, and boom, bada bing, we have successfully intubated the patient and done 3 endoscopic procedures for Airway Ex. That is pretty cool. That is awesome. All right. Well, I mean, let's get on to the next. Let's get on to Gastro Ex and see how that turns out. So, I hope you're not grossed out too much, and I hope you're actually enjoying it. All right, now to the gas. Okay, here we are with Gastro Ex. So, for those of you who don't know gastro, that is gastroenterology, which basically incorporates the your digestive tract. So you're include your throat and your esophagus and your stomach and your duodenum and your colon and your small intestines and basically your bunghole. So And as you can tell, I've already played some of this, and yeah, I've already played most of it, and I've gotten as far as lurking lesions. So we're gonna start with the lurking lesions, so you can kind of see, because this one was pretty interesting. So a 48-year-old African male patient with no significant past medical history presents from his primary care doctor. He states his doctor sent him for a test, but does not know any further details. He denies abdominal pain, but reports intermittent periods of diarrhea and constipation that seems to be exacerbated by stress. Well, believe me, my boom booms are definitely exacerbated by stress. Man, especially whenever I'm having to, try to get these videos out. Man, I spend most of my time in the bed. I'm probably in there at least an hour. Yeah, an hour at best. Or at least until, like, Dumpster Dan's wife is, like, banging on the door. Basically telling me, get the hell out! So, yeah. So, let's get going. Whoa. The weird thing about this, the definition is amazing. I mean, look at that. You cannot deny that is amazing. The way they have captured the biology of this. But at the same time, it is so disgusting and disturbing. So it just asked me to get the saline out. So I am getting the little prod thing. Which, it has a needle on the end of it. And you maneuver it back and forth. And, so we are now transversing. No lesions or endoscopic findings proximal to this. Well, I didn't see anything. But, it's kind of like spelunking. In a way. But, I mean, look at that. Look how the muscles inside the smooth muscles of the colon are kind of like undulating. And pulsating. It's disgusting, but yet it's also fascinating. So fascinating. So where did I miss the lesion? I mean, I could have sworn I have been all over this. Did you guys see it? Oh, there it is. Fat polyp. Okay, there. Holy cow. I did not see it. I did not even notice anything. Okay, so now we've got to figure out. Okay, I see it now. It is this, like, kind of discolored region there. But I've got to figure out how the heck am I going to be able to get... Okay, so now we are in the right spot. We're going to extend our needle out like a, like a 007 villain. Or maybe like, yeah. Okay, I know. How do I get the needle out? Oh, okay, there we go, okay. But we extend that needle out like a 007 villain, or maybe like the end of like Penguin's like umbrella cane or something like that. Okay, so we tried to get that in. Okay, now, oh wow, it inflated like a balloon with this blue dye. Wonder why the top of the polyp. The top of the polyp isn't blue. Whoop. Well, come on, it's just there as plain as day. Come on. Get. There must be some trick here. Maybe I need to extend this out a little bit further. There we go. Okay, and boom. All right. So now, wait. Aren't we gonna do anything about the guy's bleeding? I mean, this is the colon after all. I mean, wouldn't that wound become septic? I mean, there's a lot of bacteria in the colon. I mean, it's mostly good bacteria, but it's still bacteria nonetheless. It can cause infection. Okay, well, I guess we're just gonna go on to the next round. Okay, so sordid AVM's case, severe diarrhea. We got surprising sigmoidoscopy or polyp hunt. And we're gonna go with polyp hunt. So we are going to go hunting for them polyps. I'm gonna bag me some polyps. So a 61-year-old female patient presents for a surveillance colonoscopy. 3 years ago, she underwent a colonoscopy that was a good prep to the cecum, On that exam, she had 6 identified polyps, and pathology revealed that they were tubular adenomas. Today, she reports no significant abdominal pain, diarrhea, or constipation. She has no family history of colon cancer or polyps. Well, I mean, it's a good thing it's tubular adenoma, and not like tubular carcinoma. For you to know is adenoma is just basically like just a growth. It's basically like a growth in a way, kind of like an internal pimple, or maybe like a wart or something like that. But the carcinoma, that's cancer. So, and then that has to be taken care of. And not to scare anyone, but I mean, a colon cancer apparently is fairly common, but like it is the most treatable of the cancers. Okay, so there was a polyp, and there's another polyp, and then there's another polyp. You know what? We are going to go. Aha. Yeah, there's going to be our first one of the day. Because we at least know where those other 2 are, so we are going to at least try to get this one. Now, this one's kind of small, so I'm thinking maybe I should inject it. I'm not 100% certain on that one, but I'm going to at least try. So when the needle out, and we're going to line this up, and we're going to try to make sure we get in, and there we go, okay. And fill her up. Unnecessary injection? What? Well, I mean, it looks kind of small. I was trying to enlarge it so that way I could get a good, lassoing of this this polyp here. Wrangle this thing in. See? Come on. It's not that easy. See, look at that. Look at that. Even with it bulging like that, I couldn't just easily get it. Gotta extend this out a little further. Come on. There we go. There we go. Okay. Obviously now we need to know that we have to have that circle fully blue before we start doing our lassoing. Really, I'm kind of wondering about leaving these things bleeding though. I mean, yeah, I know we are using an endoscopy, and so on the camera it looks huge. So it looks like it's a whole lot of bleeding, and in real life it's just a tiny bit. And I mean, and this colon is clean. They make sure of that before you have your procedure. That is the one thing. That was the one reason people do not want to do colonoscopies, is because of what you have to go through. So we are coming up on the bend of the colon here. We have got another polyp. Okay, so this one does not seem very round. Does not seem very round at all. And so I am going to I'm going to take another bit, and then we're going to inject it with saline. And hopefully this will actually be a proper injection instead of unnecessary injection. Come on. Get a little bit lower there. The depth perception on this is, I will admit, a little janky. Come on. Unnecessary again! Holy smackerels! Frubber knuckles! Man! I am not having a good time with this. Okay, so, I don't know. Are we in the right angle to really try to lasso this? I think I'm gonna have to rotate myself around, a little bit here to the left if I can. Maybe I can wrangle myself. There we go. Okay. Now I think it's right below us. Okay, now we can get that lasso out and lasso in us another polyp. Come on. Ah, man, it's it is tricky. The perception in this game feels really off. It is really hard. There we go. Boom. Another polyp. Okay. So now we've got one more to go at least. We're supposed to get 3. And I know those 2 are in the back, but let us move forward. When you are presented with the opportunity to move forward, then you should try to move forward. Oh, okay. We have reached the end of the colon. Is that? Oh, so is that really what it looks like? Is that really what the connection from the small intestine to the big intestine looks like? Huh. That's kind of interesting. Plus, this is really kind of a short venue, to be quite honest. But at the same time, we did not have to do our little entry scoping like we had to do with Airway Ex. Which, I mean, in some ways, I'm sure we are all thankful for that. So, oh, there's another polyp. There is another polyp. Ooh. That's all white looking. That does not look good. That does not look good at all. And this one, I am willing to bet this time that it's going to be the third time as a charm. I am willing to bet that this is a flat polyp. So we're going to try, yeah, flat polyp! Flat polyp! So this time I do have to do a necessary injection. So get that, game. For once, I'm actually going to inject for the right reason. Time's up! What did you didn't give me a chance? You didn't give me a chance. Why did you do that to me? I was doing so well. I was on the end note. No. Okay, fine, whatever. All right, guys, that was Gastro Ex. Let's go on to Pulmonary Ex. And the last chapter of our game. Or virtual endoscopies. Okay, so here we are to the last round of our endoscopic, adventurous trilogy of virtual surgical procedures. Pulmonary Ex is basically like Airway Ex. It basically encompasses the respiratory system, which is basically what the pulmonary system is. I think the heart is part of the pulmonary system, but don't take my word for it. I am not a doctor, and I am not completely familiar with medical terminology, except for some very limited knowledge. But okay. So basically, Unit 1, I've done I think 3 procedures in Unit 1, and they all had to do with the lungs, basically, with the respiratory system. So, I mean, for all intents and purposes, that is basically as far as we are going to go in this Let's Play. So I leave it to you guys to continue the adventure. If you want to try and download it, I'll leave a link. So we're going to skip these 3 I've already done, and we are going to basically go to Capital Disaster. Alright, a 24-year-old amateur magician presents a 2-month history of recurrent dry cough, low-grade fever, and dyspnea. After PCP prescribed a course of antibiotics, resulting in minimal to no improvement in symptoms, she underwent spirometry, which showed mild obstruction. FEV1 was 80% of the predicted value. The FVC was normal. You've been called in because your colleagues are attending an ATS annual meeting. Oh yeah, great. Yeah, they get to go goof off. Determine the cause of the chief complaint and treat the patient. Okay, wow. Yeah, it's good for them. And look, we are provided a very nice x-ray showing a... How the heck did a pen cap get in there? Really? Yeah, I mean, she's definitely an amateur magician. Yeah. Alright, so here we go. We are going down the esophagus, and we are in the lungs now. So we are in the lungs, and it looks like we have already found our culprit. There we go. There is a blue, looks like from a Bic pen. Yeah, and it even conveniently tells us that this is a pin cap, and to remove objects. So we need to figure out how we're going to do that. So we're going to move a little closer, and then we're going to use a little mucus thing and slurp this up. Yucky, yucky, yucky. Alright, and we're going to try to slurp it up inside the pin, too. Come on. No, we need a little bit more. We need that dried out, dude. Alright, there we go. There we go. Alright, now we have to figure out how exactly we are going to extract this. How did she end up getting this? How did she respirate this and not figure out that is what was causing her? How did she do it without knowing it? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I mean, how? I mean, unless she's a really good magician, and, well, I mean, she's really good at disappearing, but not so good at apparating an object, and somehow apparated it into her lungs. A Victus apparatus. I mean, being Pictus apparatus. We are... I mean, apparently we are actually attached to it, but, I mean, it looks like it's... I'm sure that's mostly a glitch in the graphics. But, okay, cool. Successful procedure! So we're gonna move on to the next one. Bloody business. An 80-year-old woman is admitted to the ED with a parazymal cough and associated episodes of hemoptysis and intermittent blood sputum that have continued for approximately 15 days. She has a 40-pack year smoking history. She has been diagnosed with COPD and requires 2 liters of home oxygen. You are the only pulmonologist on the floor. You're called to the ED to determine the cause and chief complaint of the threat to the patient. Well, I mean, I would figure 40-pack year smoking history would not, would be definitely a factor, a contributing factor in this. Okay, so we're going back down the bronchial tube into the bronchial branches, and I think we have found our culprit. We have found our culprit. Yes, we have. So, frontline APC, okay? APC, or AC, or maybe APC. It's argon. I actually, this is one of those few things I have actually looked up. It's like it's basically it cauterizes the wound using argon gas, and for all intents and purposes, it's more like electricity in a way. All right, so active bleeding, saline solution, clean the wound. So we need to try to use the saline to clean this up really nice and nice and squeaky. Okay, so we have done that. All right, good. And now we are going to use the APC to extend and retract. Okay. Tap or hold APC to front fire. Make sure the APC is close. Terrific. What am I doing? I can barely see what I'm doing. Clean your scope. If your scope gets covered in blood, you can wash it using the irrigation tool. Okay. Damage can be caused and appear in many ways that will affect your score. Okay. Well, that's Okay. Well, so apparently I have finished that one. Kind of oblivious to it, but you know, sure, why not? Okay, viral vengeance. So achieving 2 hearts on this level will grant CM credit. Cool. Okay. A 53-year-old man presents with intermittent cough and dyspnea. He is an active smoker and reports one about a pink-colored sputum 1 week before the current visit. He has a history of vocal cord growth, which was surgically removed, and are on a remote medical... Oh, you're on a remote medical mission. Determine the cause of the chief complaint and treat the patient with a flexible bronchoscope and a limited set of tools. So I guess maybe that has to do with the fact that I am on remote, but I mean, it really doesn't seem to make a whole lot of... This doesn't really seem to explain a lot, but okay. So, which way do I go? I guess we're gonna go this way. So, okay, well, now we branched off again. So I'm trying to figure out which way we need to go. And of course and of course now you're getting into the lungs where it starts to branch off. And, I mean, it branches off because it's going into what they call the bronchial sacs. And, I mean, that's where it processes, you know, your oxygen and feeds your blood cells, you know, new oxygen. So apparently we cannot go that direction. I guess we're going to have to go down here instead. So we need to go down in here. Maybe down, go this way. Perhaps over here. Okay, now, again, apparently we are not going in the right place. Well, holy cow. Well, where am I supposed to go? I mean, it's like a maze down here, guys. I mean, literally there are thousands upon thousands of branching choices here. Oh, well, I mean, at least it stops me from going too far. You know, but I mean, it is not exactly... I mean, I do not know exactly where it is wanting me to go. Because unfortunately, I am not familiar with that terminology. Okay, so, I I'm not, now I am really lost. I have no idea where I'm supposed to go. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna have to, I think I'm gonna have to cut this one here and then come back when I finally figure out where I'm supposed to go, because I am at a loss. I'm at a loss and I am running out of time. So you know what? I'm gonna reset and do this all over again, and we'll be right back. Yeah, I am really sorry about that, guys. I spent pretty much the entire time trying to figure out where to go, and it was like right here. Look! I mean, it's so obvious. And yet somehow I completely missed it. I mean, if I was a doctor, I would be a terrible doctor. Yeah, I mean, I got over here with, I think, like 45 seconds to spare, and then only figured out what to do, you know, with the last 30 seconds. So yeah, and had almost no time at all to be able to react. So I mean, apparently it is a polyp. It is a remove papillema for HPV. HPV. Okay. But you're supposed to grab this mass and you're supposed to basically just yank it out. Which, I mean, honestly, doesn't seem to be... Well, I mean, I guess this is, like I said, this is a simulator, so I mean, I guess this is how the doctors do it. Okay, so we removed the object from the airway. Now, this is where I only had, like, I think, like, 15 seconds left to get all the way down here, because apparently we have to control the bleeding, because, I mean, the lungs. You know, obviously, you do not want them bleeding in their lungs and, you know, drown on their own blood. But, okay, so we're gonna suck this up. Ooh, wow, this, you can even see it sputtering up there. We're gonna rinse this off. Gonna clean the tissue, and then we are going to use the APC, which again is that argon cauterizing device, to fry the tissue, cauterize the wound, and stop the bleeding. So I mean, it is kind of neat. In a way, it's kind of neat. I can only assume this is actually how it works, because I mean, it's basically like an arc welder in a way. You know, it's just basically electricity, creating a really quick, hot electricity that burns the tissue and stops the bleeding. So, all right. So, of course, we gotta be careful here, because we do not want to burn healthy tissue. That would be bad. I would be a very bad doctor. Well, extra bad doctor if I did that. So, all right. Awesome. We succeeded. That was awesome. That was fantastic. You know, guys, I mean, I cannot recommend this enough. I mean, just for a educational learning aspect to it, this game is awesome. Or, I mean, again, virtual tool. It is really awesome. It is definitely worth checking out if you are ever curious about, you know, at least endoscopic procedures. But I mean, you know, but basically the aspect of having to use tools that are teeny tiny to do very, exact, delicate procedures. But I mean, there you go. There you have it. Thanks for joining me, guys. I really appreciate it. If you like this, like and subscribe. Be sure to hit that bell icon. And until next time, bye-bye, YouTubies.